Oh, I am recording. Hello, I'm Cat and welcome back to our third channel scooter video. This is now a genre of video on this channel, it seems, and today I'm in Liverpool in the north of England, here to do something, because a lot of people said that the scooter videos made them a little bit anxious. So today I'm going to be resolving that with the least anxious scooter ride yet. We're going to be going from the city centre, where I am right now, out towards the docks. If you don't know, Liverpool's kind of famous for being a port city, a dock city. There's a lot of shipbuilding history here. I want to say the Titanic was built here even. A lot of cities claim to have a connection to the Titanic, which would be probably less weird if it was a more successful ship, not known for its crashing, and, you know, maybe known for anything else that was good about it. But anyway, so I am here in Liverpool, here in a port city, and I'm going to be going by the docks for the most part today, and I'm not going to be breaking most traffic laws. I mean, sure, that was a red light, but you can see now I've passed the red light, so it wasn't even really a bad thing. But yeah, I'm going to be going along a national cycle route that goes right along the sea, so either there's going to be a lot of wind noise and the whole video is going to be ruined, which is entirely possible, or it's going to be a really nice scenic drive. Or ride. Can you call it a drive on a scooter? You know, what's stopping me, am I right? Actually, a lot of things are stopping me. I am right. But yeah, I guess we're gonna see how all of this goes. I guess I'm gonna sit behind a bus for a bit while we talk about something I want to talk about and have wanted to for a while, which is failing, I guess. Doing things in a not successful manner. It's something no one wants to do, right? And that's why I think one of the harshest things I hear from almost anyone who grew up with somewhat wealthy parents. Also, I'm going to tilt the camera a little bit up right now so you can see. Oh god, there's a bus behind me and a bus in front of me. I'm in an unpleasant situation right now. Oh god. You can hear the bus, but you can't see it because the camera's chest mounted. You get really good audio there, but you can't see where I'm looking. It's one of the problems with these videos. The bus behind me is following me so closely. I am terrified beyond all belief. Oh. Yeah, this is safe, this is fine, and no one should be anxious about Cat being squished between two buses. I assure you of that much. But yeah, one of the... Oh, okay, this is not a road I'm meant to be going on, it seems. So we'll just slide onto the pavement. Call it a day. But one of the things that I wanted to talk about for a while is failing, because one of the downs, you know, I think having super wealthy parents is something I've always in a way, envied people for when I was younger. And one of the things I realized as I've grown up, and seeing some people around me who had very, very wealthy parents who either don't know about it or do know about it, but know it because it makes their life, you know, worse in some ways, is people who have, you know, one of the reasons that wealth seems to permeate between generations. Maybe economic mobility is a big part of it to you, but also a big part of it is the high expectations that come when your parents are successful. When you are a successful parent, you expect your child to be as successful as you. Maybe if you're a good parent, hopefully not in the same realm as you, but you hope that, you know, if you're someone who works their way out of... Oh, this is a nice... See this? Oh god. This is the Liverpool beachfront, riverfront, I don't know what you call it. And these are some lamb bananas that I was talking about in my YouTube stories. They're very bizarre, but I can't help but be more in love with them the more I see them. And yeah, this is where we're taking our ride today. This is meant to be a national cycle path, but I clearly haven't found it correctly, because I am clearly somewhere that scooters are not meant to be. But that's fine, you know, not everyone is doing things that people want them to do. And that is something their parents might not be happy with. There we go. Tied it back into the main talking subject. Yeah, this is definitely not correct. Ooh. This is definitely not a national cycle path. I clearly read some sign wrong somewhere. Ooh. It's even so slow and filled with people that I'm a little cautious, even talking and riding my scooter here. Huh. Oh, there's a bridge here. Fun. But man, it's crazy busy. I guess it's a Friday, but something, make a lockdown comment. Yeah, look at me. I am observant. I can say words. Oh, look at that entire dock looks like it's frozen over. That is really pretty. Fun fact, the reason this is frozen over but not that is because moving water is much harder to freeze. Also, something about salinity probably in there. salt makes water impossible to freeze, if I'm not mistaken. There's some magic to that. I don't understand it entirely. But anyway, let's go and let's talk about failure, shall we? Oh yeah, this is not this is not happening for me. This is, oh, look at my scooter bounce. Oh yeah, very fun. Okay, I got a little path here. This is supposedly part of the National Cycle Network, and my god, is this not actually that? Okay. Yeah, in the sense that it's not a good thing to do. Look at that. Like, you know, it's pretty. I'm glad I'm here. Don't get me wrong, but like, I have a choice between potentially bursting a tire or being surrounded by people in a way that, like, ignoring the whole. Oh. You know? Oh yeah, that guy's got the right idea. I like his scooter too. Oh yeah, this is, by the way, one of the few cities where this is actually legal to do. Yeah, this is fun. I'm like in an area of uncomfortable number of people, like even ignoring current situation stuff, it's just like, you know, you don't want this many people around you. Okay, that definitely wasn't part of the National Cycle Network. I thought maybe this was the road I was thinking of instead, but that's just private road net, so I don't know what to think anymore. All I know is they're finally gotten rid of all the annoying people, and I can hopefully get some speed, some fun, and follow this pathway, which in about 6 miles leads to a local airport actually, so I'm hoping at some point today I see a plane. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Or is it in fact some combination of those two things? That's what I get to ask, and oh yeah, here we go. Look at this. An actual road, no people, no gaps, that's good. Yeah, I've always, I have this, one of the things about any like big city, I want to say tourist city, but right now there probably aren't many tourists in Liverpool. But like one of the annoying things about big tourist places are how like people get crowded into intensely tight spaces. And I like to ignore those, not for germ reasons, although, you know, maybe you could make some compelling argument because of this year that that's a good reason to avoid them. But instead it's just like, you know, who wants to be in a place where your mobility is restricted? Like, I used to think that before this year that the reason I never got sick was I had like an amazing immune system. Like I've had like 3 colds in my life or something. I don't think I've had the flu of any form. If I had, then I have such a strong immune system that I didn't notice it. I think I was once really sick for like 5 days, and I was just like sick in the sense that like I had a headache and some other stuff. But like I don't get sick, and I used to assume that it was like, oh, I have such a strong immune system. But I think it's just that people like being in really close proximity to each other, to a detriment to a lot of other things. And like I don't hate people for it. I'm not the guy who's like, oh, that being close to each other is non-essential, and therefore I get to decide how you live your life. I'm not that guy, don't get me wrong. But I do find it to be a telling sign that like, we can avoid a lot of things. Like there's a kind of economic externality. There is a cost. You know, places like nightclubs, you think you're paying £5 to enter, but really, and you know, the nightclub thinks they're paying 30,000 in rent, but really what they're doing is they're getting a discount in all the diseases that they're spreading, or whatever else. I don't think we could ever realistically factor that in, because until 2020, you know, like the spread of the flu, the cold, etc., was kind of just considered like on you as a person. Like, you know, you don't hang out with sick people, and when you go out and you hang out, when you get close to people, that's on you. But that's a thing that's changed this year, because expectations have changed too. And there we go. Let's get back to my main point today, because one of the things that I think really sucks about, oh look at that view, one of the things that I think really sucks about having parents with some money is the high expectations that are on you as a result. I think oh look, I do see a plane. That's probably going to be the one plane I see today. I don't think Liverpool has a particularly big airport, but a man can hope. Okay, I'm going to cross onto a main road right here. Okay, I'm gonna do it. It's going to be great. Ooh. I'm guessing this is the cycle network now. What if they just lied about the cycle network? What if there's just a map and they hope no one goes on it like I am today? Because that looks entirely possible from where I'm standing. So I guess I've got to turn right here. No, I'm going left. Okay. I don't understand anything that I'm doing. But a high expectation seems like such a bad thing on the surface. One of the things I really sympathize with people is like, you know, great thing about having, like I had a friend whose like parents were really hyped for them because they passed their GCSE in the UK, or like they got a bunch of D's and their parents were like super hyped for them. And I used to think like, man, wouldn't it be great to have that? That is, you know, I actually, what I used to think is like, man, that's weird that your parents are celebrating that. Like, if you don't know, in the UK, even though like you get a pass, even if you get like a G in a GCSE, or you get an E or a D if we want to go to the American system, those count as passes, but they're generally not considered like good. Like most jobs just don't consider anything below a C worthwhile. Like some probably do, I'm sure it's not non-existent, but you know, so that's why it's weird when you see people like celebrate it. It's like, well, you did a thing, it's just the thing, oh, has no bearing anywhere on anything. Whereas oh yeah. Whereas you know, like I feel like my parents are realistic with me, and they're like, you know, anything you get C or above, that's, you know, my mother, I guess, single mother, you don't know, but yeah, I feel like in my situation, I think this gravel will make me fall off my scooter. Oh, I guess I was wrong, but good chance it popped the tire though, so we'll see if that's a downside later on this journey. Oh, but my mother was like, yep, anything below a C, I really don't care. She was not happy with my G, for instance. And I've heard of some people's parents who are like even higher, you know, have even higher expectations than that, and are like, oh, can't believe you don't get an A, you know, only barely passing by the skin of your teeth, that means nothing. I'm disappointed in you. And it's like, but they did the thing that they were required to do. But it's like, but they didn't exceed the expectation. And there's an interesting thing of like expecting people to exceed expectations as your expectation that I always find to be bizarre. Like when people say like, if you're not 15 minutes early, you're already late. And it's like, no, if you're not 0 minutes, if you're on time, you're on time. If you're 15 minutes early, you're 15 minutes early, which is a great way to ensure being on time, but you've exceeded expectations. I think in the military, it's a big thing, because maybe something about timiness and like, you know, really not wanting to disappoint people. I don't know for sure, but this idea that the expectation that we place on people is not the expectation that we actually place on people feels a bit misleading in some ways. Like, you should, if you're going to exceed an expectation, that should be on you, and we should be proud of you when you do it. But that's something that parents everywhere do not agree with. I think the stereotype is usually you know, like Asian parents, right? Like oh yeah, why you not get B? 1 sec. But I think the stereotype is usually you know, East Asian parents being like, oh yeah, you know, why you get a B? That's the most disappointing thing, and then like beating their son up. And so I find it to be a very interesting measure we get to when we're like, no, exceeding expectations is the only way you can reach your expectations. And I think, you know, I used to think that this was mostly just a downside. Like, yep, things really sucked. Yeah, this really doesn't seem like a psychopath at this point. Okay, let's get fruit up. Oh look, it's like a beach. A very sad beach. But yeah, the people, there's this funny thing where I think high expectations are a really great thing to levy on yourself though. Like, it's almost like a hypocrisy in my brain that I try to resolve sometimes, of like, I hate when people over expect from others. Like, there's like a bare minimum we expect from people, and when you go below that, everyone gets to be disappointed with you. Like, oh, when we say we're going to meet at 5 p.m, you know, you have until 5 p.m. to be there. If you're not there by 5:30 and you didn't mention it before 5, or at least 5:30, you've done a bad thing. I mentioned a few times now about my friend who just doesn't show up and then ignores messages and then pretends like, oh, I forgot, I'm sorry. And it's like, you know, you saw those messages. Like, I can see, you know, like social media lets you know these days that someone has you know, not read a message. Like, it's, you don't just get to pretend the easy way out, like, oh, I forgot. And even the easy way out, if I forgot, is not particularly, like, that, even that is like ignoring your obligations in a way. I just titled this video something about like the inefficacy of Liverpool lockdown measures or something. Right? You don't know, the UK is like fully locked down right now, and you know, I just thought that meant I could go for my scooter ride. You know, like lockdowns apply to other people, not to me. Everyone knows that's how people see it. And but anyway, that's a point for another day. The point, maybe actually there is a point about like, yeah, they every now and then we get someone saying like, oh yeah, you know, people need to be more like treating this more seriously. It's like when you set the tone as the government, you're not setting a minimum, even though that's what you're effectively doing. When you force people to do things they don't want to, you're seeing it as like a maximum, as a recommended place above which people won't want to exceed. You know, when you set the bar so high, people try to go the bare minimum above the bar. I don't know, like I've been doing my driving lessons or driving very recently. Obviously it got cancelled because of something lockdown. Yeah, this is really impacting speed, by the way. You know, if only there were fewer people getting in the way. I need to stop making that one same reference. But I used to think expectations are a really bad thing, and then I started like, I guess, applying them to myself. I always had this dream of like, I guess my actual expectation I applied myself was always growth. Every single year I wanted to do better than what I was doing right now. Like I had a first goal that was, oh god, let's do this. But my first goal for myself was like, yeah, try and find some online job that can pay for the dumb things that you need on a day-to-day basis. I always felt bad asking my mum for money, and so I did online things for myself to you know, to make some money so I could have some pizza. Pizza is the greatest joy in life, but like getting £15, like how am I going to do that? It's just impossible. So I did work on the internet. I've told the stories about how I effectively worked for under minimum wage, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity, as counterintuitive as people like to make that sound. I've spoken before about like that's what I did, and I got some pizza money, as well as I bought some Mountain Dew online, which is an American soda that I couldn't find here in the UK. It's so sweet because I guess Americans have more sugar in their stuff. Nowadays you can actually just buy it at the supermarkets here. I'd like to believe that in some small part, me buying on eBay led to showing there was a market for it in the UK, so you're welcome, enjoyers of Mountain Dew, even though totally I'm not the deciding factor, even if I was a 0.001% contributor. But yeah, there's I think this is the most people-filled scooter video I've ever done. See, in this case, I'm the deadly person on the machine that can hurt the people, and it's the pedestrians that are the me of the world, not following the traffic rules. See, isn't it beautiful? Everything comes full circle in the end. Oh, okay. But there's a funny thing about expectations on myself, which is that like I always have had really like whenever I was in school, like the entire time the schooling system that I was in, the entire time I was there, I never considered it to be anything but you know, like fulfilling oh god, this is definitely not the bikes. But I never considered the school system to be anything but fulfilling an obligation of like, oh yeah, I have to do this thing. You know, my parents expect me to. Okay, this is much nicer. This is something now. It's not much, but it's something. And okay, maybe it's not something. Oh, so busy. Maybe I should go here like the middle of the day. Maybe that would really solve the problem. But see, I used to think of school as being this thing where I was just doing a thing. Oh, look how cute that dog is. I was just doing a thing for, you know, the purpose of like everyone around me is like, oh, you've got to be in school. I think that's how most children probably feel about school. It's not a thing you're doing for yourself. And I feel like school does a really good job of indoctrinating, indoctrinate's a strong word, of encouraging people to believe that like, yeah, the way the world works is you do things for other people, and then some of those people will do things for you later. But it's much easier to, you know, like to teach people that they need to do things for other people, and that is what school's for. Add in a little bit of the fact that school is effectively daycare, and now people go to school to do a thing, and that's how I always felt about it the entire time I was there. Most teachers were effectively like, oh yeah, this is just so I can make some money, because, you know, I need to do something in the days to keep myself from going senile. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Look at this. Actual speed. I forgot what this was. And so as a result, like, I was always just barely trying to meet, like, I was just trying to stop people from doing bad things to me. Like, oh yeah, to not get a detention, I have to do homework. I'm going to do the bare minimum so you can see I've done the homework. One of my favorite strategies, like, I don't know if I recommend this or not, it depends on how much your teachers care, but my favorite strategy was like, oh yeah, got maths homework, for instance, just fill in the answers, like, wrong. Like, you know, have you done your homework if you've done it all wrong? They can't really punish you for not doing homework just because it's wrong. As long as enough of it looks correct. You know, I did like every third question correctly, and then I entirely guessed the rest. And like, you know, assuming, you know, you had a busy teacher, they're not going to spend the time to mark it. And there you go. Now I've freed up 20 minutes of my evening for myself. That was, I considered that to be an actual accomplishment. Yeah, we got more beach over here. And more dogs. Oh yeah, that is very cute. That's what I love to see. You know, if everyone just walked their dogs, then I'd be very happy with their existence in this planet. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, this is such a weird path that I genuinely cannot see any justification for trying to call it a psychopath. Like, it is very deliberately slowing me down repeatedly, again and again and again. And I know, repeatedly again and again and again. It's a little bit of a redundant phrase. But you know what else is redundant? So, like, the idea that, like, oh yeah, we send kids to school for most of their day to do work. And then we're like, oh, but you have to do homework as well. Like, when you get home, you know, like, from the very get-go, they teach you that, like, work-life balance is a sham. You have home time and you have work time, and you better believe you're bringing your work home with you. And it's like, but shouldn't I be able to do a good enough job of my work at school? That, like, you know, I wish more teachers would give you the opportunity to be like, hey, here's an hour and a half of work, here's an hour in the classroom, do the hour and a half work. Anything you don't do, you have to take home and make sure it's done by next class. Obviously how you enforce that, etc, etc, but like, that would be the best system. So you're like, okay, if I can just work faster, I can get it done. We should be focusing on time, which is what so many things are, and we should be focused on actual productivity. The amount of time you put in something doesn't matter. It's what you get done, to me, that really makes the difference. And that's what brings me back to failing. Because one of the things I think is cool about expectations, about on yourself, when other people expect them from you, I feel like you're just going to work around them. But one of the reasons that, even though my whole life I found it to be genuinely upsetting, oh my god. Where do these people come from, and why are they in such specific sections off this pathway? Like, I genuinely don't understand how this is possible. But that's fine. I'll just go at a nice slow walking speed. And yeah, this is actually the most human contact I think I've had in a while. And it's going outside for a walk. And so many other people are having the exact same theory, apparently. Oh, there's no cars allowed here. That's good to know. That means cycles must be allowed, I assume. Maybe? Yeah, probably true. Anyway, so I think one of the cool things about expectations, because there's a lot of people criticize when something fails. They're like, oh, yeah, it's funny, this company launched this new thing, and then they had to take it away because it wasn't successful. And we have this affinity for the idea of natural success. Like, there is, you know, like, any successful company just started. They had a really good idea, and then it didn't matter about the rest of it. But actually, there is a real importance in our society of not natural success, of learning to fail, of learning to improve, of learning to make things better. If you don't have those things, you know, like we've gone a real far way, but it looks like we haven't, because the shoreline in the background has stayed the same. It's kind of hard to see progress when you're doing something like that. Also, more e-scooters. See, they're a cool form of transport that is semi-legal here in Liverpool, by the way. But we have this this affinity for tales of people who are naturally successful. But I think what's way more important is improving, is learning from your mistakes, etc, etc, etc. And obviously, that was a cool bike. It was chunky, so it must have been the type of illegal electric that I'm a big fan of. But yeah, there's this affinity for tales of natural success, and you know, we always talk about how it's an invention that is great for success, and there is totally an element of that. There's totally an element of the fact that, like, yeah, people who invent a brand new thing will likely be some level of successful, but the real talent is in refining that invention. You don't just magically have an idea that comes to you. You refine that idea and you make it better and better and better. And so one of the things I was kind of glad of is, like, you know, I think I said I started my goals low. I just wanted to earn enough money to buy some Mountain Dew, and then I was like, I want to earn enough money to, like, pay for rent. The first month, I made enough on the internet that, like, it was £300 if you're curious. That's how much a studio, or maybe a one-bedroom flat. That's how much a flat cost. Where I was at, there's an Otter's play area, 1.6 kilometers that way, or we could go this way to St. Michael's Station. You know, let's see. Can't be more crowded than ahead of me. But one of the things that is but isn't it crazy? Because no COVID stats. But I think I think moving your expectations up as you are more successful, you know, chasing the eternal treadmill, it seems like a really bad thing. Some people, we have a lot of messages that tell people not to do so, and maybe for a lot of people it isn't. Maybe, like, you should be happy with what you have is a great message. I think gratitude is great. You should, of course, be happy with what you have, but I also think striving for more is a great thing, because if I didn't seek more, you know, like, one of the first jobs I had on the internet was just writing guides for, like, I always tried to do a video game writer, like, write about games, write guides for games, write news about games, write whatever I could about games, so that someone would pay me some money in exchange for that service that I was doing. Okay, I got this. But ooh. Ooh, I can go right to the woodland trails. Do you reckon that's suitable for a scooter? I reckon it's probably not. But yeah, I think improving your expectations on yourself. Oh, look at this bump. Oh, I'm in a really cute little park now. Look at this. This is a fun little find. I don't know what it is, but I'm glad I'm here. But yeah, I think increasing your expectations on yourself is something I'm really glad I did to myself repeatedly. Because if I was still doing that video game writing job, I'm sure there were so many things I'd hate about it. I'm like, I see so many people who get what seems like a very good job, a dream job in some way, and then they're chasing the dream job in other aspects. And I'm not gonna pretend I'm immune from that, but, like, for instance, like, there are some Mojang employees who used to love and spend, like, every waking minute of their day clearly working on making Minecraft and loving it and etc, etc. And now they're like, you know, I really wish I could be a streamer. There's more than a few, like, can name like a half dozen Mojang employees that have gone down the same pathway, because, like, you know, I really like making games. I love playing games as but, like, what I really love to do is I'd like to play games for a living. Actually, when I was younger, that was always my same goal and expectation. Yeah, this is definitely not. I am not gonna even try. Oh, yeah, I think actually I'm gonna change my mind. I think going here was a bad idea. I'm gonna have a filthy scooter at the end of this, and I might even be losing some grip. I might die, but would it be worth it? That's a question I don't know the answer to. So, I don't know what my battery is at. I have to, like, peek at it. Ah, we're on 1 bar. We gotta be finished soon, or bad things start to happen, huh? Oh yeah, this is, oh, don't like this. But there's this funny thing that I value in raising expectations. Oh god, it's that slippery. This is a great place to ride a scooter. Oh yeah, everything's fine. Just don't turn. Just okay. We're good. I'm fine. I want to see how slippery it actually is. Oh no, we're fine. We're mostly fine. And we're back onto a road, which means I can just enable speed mode and actually go places. Wait, let's see. Yeah, let's just for fun. That distance that I went via a national cycle path. Let's see how much faster I can go by just going on a road. because I would not be surprised if it was substantially faster. I mean, I don't really want to go on a road, especially one this busy, but what else am I gonna do? What else am I gonna do? Or keep following the signs to St. Michael's Station. These are my choices that I must decide between. But yeah, I think raising your expectations on yourself is and you know, like failing and expecting failure. Oh gosh. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna hop back onto that road.
Expect something proper John Ed, lad.
Okay, here's my plan. I'm gonna hop on the road as soon as the lights go. Gives me a little bit of a head start on any cars. Or just go right now, screw it. This works too. And now the light's gonna go, they're gonna slow any cars down. And I'll basically have like a free road to myself. Is it safe to go on this road while it's slippery and wet and my tires are muddy? That's a question I wish I knew the answer to. But as long as I believe in myself, I should be fine. And do I believe myself? I do. Oh. So, yeah, I think, oh yeah. See, this is the thing about, like, bikes and scooters and stuff, is like, if a psychopath doesn't offer speed, there's a serious problem in that. Oh god, cars are coming after me. Cars are coming after me. That is good. That is what I want. So, I've actually been taking my driving theory recently. So I know that the dash lines in the middle of the road indicate the cars should not overtake unless it is safe to do so. And okay, there we go. And also they're meant to leave like a really wide gap, but who knows how many actually choose to do that. Okay, okay. Gonna cross, oh, roundabouts. Love them so much. Yeah, this is a proper A road. I don't even think bikes are necessarily meant to be here. Oh, but you better believe that my bike is here anyway, because that is definitely what the scooter is. It is a bike. But yeah, the thing about raising your expectations, having more goals on yourself, it's sometimes seen as a bad thing. It's sometimes seen as chasing the eternal treadmill. But I think the really cool benefit is that you start to see, is that you start to want to, you know, like by always expecting more, you don't get like, cause you know, there's lots of things you can want more of. You can, oh, also I'm actually pretty safe. There's lots of things you can want more of, right? You can want more, you know, money in life. You can want more job security. You want more of all these things, but as long as you're always improving on something, oh god, there are so many potholes in this road. I do not like it. As long as you're improving on something in your life, I think that's the thing that keeps you like happy as a human being. I think the sort of person, oh, maybe there are people who are immune from this, but as long as you're doing better at something this year than you were doing last year, oh god. As long as you're doing better at something now than you were before, as long as you are actively improving, I think you're, oh, okay. I think that you're in for a good time. And I think failing is an important part of that. Like, doing the same thing you're doing right now, you know, like, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results, which is a phrase that is repeated so often that I don't even really see meaning in it anymore. But, you know, that's a widely said phrase, right? And, you know, so assuming that that is true, and it's not just a thing that people say on the internet, or a thing that people say because it's a catchy phrase, then like, if you want to be better, you have to try new things. You have to do something that is not the thing that you are doing right now. There has to be some change. Oh yeah, this is good. See, like, there are cars going this close to me, sure. But most of them are passing pretty wide. Most of them are, in fact, doing the thing they're meant to do. And otherwise, I'm getting where I want to go fast. Is it scary to think that, like, if I fall down, the cars can't stop in time? You better believe it is. It's beyond terrifying. But, you know, what's more important, speed or safety? There's a fun one. You know, it used to terrify me so much going on these, you know, going on like a main road like this, and still does to some extent. Oh yeah, still definitely does scare me to some extent. but I think they're trying out the new thing as well. And I don't just mean like, oh yeah, find a new job. Like I used to make game reviews, game journalism, game things, and now and now I, you know, make videos about various things, including the scootering experience in Liverpool, apparently. But I think like, you know, trying, like, you know, give exercise a try. I know it sucks. It's that thing that you don't want to do, but give it a whirl. See how that goes for you, you know? I think trying things of which you haven't tried before is so important, and knowing that some of the things that you try are going to suck, are going to fail, is really important too. One of the things that I like about this channel, I love it, like, sometimes people explicitly ask the question, sometimes more implicitly, but people ask, like, why do you have this third channel, Toycat? Like, you know, if you can get 50,000 views on a video on the main channel, or 100,000 views, or make up a number, and every 1,000 views is like $2, you can make like $100 making one of those videos, but you choose to make like $1.50, you know, spending an hour scootering around Liverpool, you know, ignoring the expense of getting here prior to lockdown, and your Airbnb that you're not sure if you should leave because, like, you're meant to be locked down, but like, I can't just rent the Airbnb for 2 months until lockdown. You know, like, there are all these expenses you might question, but yeah, there is this very real, is this a cycle lane or is this a parking spot? I really don't know. I guess it's car parking. Anyway, but yeah, there's this funny thing of, like, the reason I made a second channel, IBX2Cat, that was entirely just off my first, was because I was, like, passionate about a thing and just figured I'd share it and see who enjoyed it. And apparently people do share that passion. Like, it's, you know, it was a shot in the dark, but it worked. And on this third channel, I share some other things I'm passionate about, because I think doing new things, putting yourself out there in some extent, you know, like, the risk of failure is a scary thing, but it's required if you want to have potential success. Ooh, a Food Hall Butcher Eatery is over there. If you want things to improve, if you want to have a better world, a better life than you do right now, then you need to have, oh, that's a prison, HMS Eaglet. Where's HMS is prison, right? Her Majesty's ship, maybe? Yeah, it's either a ship or it's a prison. No, it's a ship, or it's a Navy thing. Today I learned they got a really nice deli outside of it. But I just had a desire to, like, experiment with things that I'm passionate about. Obviously, like, the difference between this dumb thing that I just turned on a camera for and then turned it off at the end, and something that, like, is actually super interesting or viable, is not that much. I think there are some scooter review channels that probably do it as their full-time job. One of the things I love to see is I watch travel videos on YouTube, people traveling, you know, like around the world, trains, planes, and automobiles. No automobiles, actually, just trains and planes. And like, I love that some of these people, even people who like fly basically business class for a living, have turned that into their job, and it's like, that's cool. I think it's also a fun reminder that, like, even these people who do this cool dream job, they literally travel. I love travel so much. They do that thing for a job. I love that they get to do it, but even then you realize, like, oh, now you have to think. Also, COVID-19 changes, drive carefully. What does that mean? What will COVID-19 change about my driving? Why should I be more careful? But yeah, there's this funny kind of, oh, damn it. Should I stop at the yellow? I'm gonna stop. Oh, my brakes don't work at all. Well, they do, but like very slowly. Oh, my hand is so cold. I can't even really feel it because I only have a sock for one hand. You know what? I should just bring 2 socks. That's the solution to this. Oh, and there's a car right there. That's nice. Should I let the cars go? I guess I'll go first. Not let the cars overtake me. I think they'd enjoy that. But yeah, trying new things and putting yourself at the risk of failure Like trying a new food that I've never even heard of before. I think I tried tangine recently. Tagine, it's a Moroccan food. Very sad, very depressing. Honestly, it was, for the amount I paid for it, I was like, this was terrible. I'm never gonna do this again unless I'm in Morocco and I have a compelling and cheap alternative. But I'm glad I tried the new food because I could have found one of my favorite foods. Well, one of my favorite types of sushi that like sounds terrible, it sounds like something I wouldn't like, is inari. So it's like soy wrapped, like it's rice wrapped in soy in a very sweet way. It's sweet sushi, but it's literally my favorite type of sushi. And I only discovered I liked it because I tried the weird looking, bizarre thing. Everyone has a story. You know, every food that you like probably is your favorite had to be a food that you hadn't tried at some point. Okay, thank you, carers. Oh, I've always said check your tires for a second. Or maybe I should check my tires too. But yeah, I'm now, by the way, almost back at where I started this video. On the left there is the path by the sea, if I'm not mistaken. And, or maybe I've gone further than where I started the video. I'm not entirely sure. We'll find out, I guess. Do I stay in the left-hand lane for the car park? Or do I go to the center lane because I'm going forwards? I don't actually know. All I do know is I'm basically back here in the center of Liverpool. I think just a block over that way is where I start this video. That's the castle with a little castle on top, isn't it cute? And also, I hope you'll enjoy this video because I have very little battery left. So I just wanted to say that, oh, my hand is so cold. And I also wanted to say, I missed the point, but being unsuccessful shouldn't be seen as an overall failure. Having a temporary setback should be seen as good and required. There are many things we have that allow that to happen. The incorporation of businesses, etc., etc. And yeah, I guess if there's a message, I messed it up and I'm bad at delivering things. But these videos are also here. You know, I failed at this video. Honestly, I failed at this whole scooter concept. But I hope I improve one day and get better at speaking and leaving some actual message. But also, maybe you just found this interesting to see me a scooter in a way that was actually safe for once. If you enjoyed that, let me know too. But thank you for watching. Third channel, don't care. Get out of my face, sluts. Goodbye.